Trump's cabinet is taking form as they start confirming people, starting with Marco Rubio today, but there is a massive change that happened just now. Vivek Ramaswamy just announced he is stepping down from Doge and leaving it to Elon Musk. Here's what he tweeted. I'll put it up right now. He says, "It was my honor to help support the creation of Doge. I'm confident that Elon and his team will succeed in streamlining government. I'll have more to say very soon about my future plans in Ohio. Most importantly, we're all in to help President Trump make America great again." So I think this is totally fine. This is all good. I like Vivek Ramaswamy. And I think he would have done really great things at Doge. But at the same time, I trust Elon Musk to run it well by himself. I have the response from Trump when he was asked about the resources that Elon would have specifically. It's a little bit more information about Doge. So before I talk about Vivek Ramaswamy specifically, I want to show you his reaction. Here it is.
Creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as Doge.
Okay, that's a big one.
Is Elon Musk going to get a West Wing office?
No, he's getting an office for about 20 people that we're hiring to make sure that these get implemented.
So they have a full team of people. And the reason why I feel confident about Elon Musk is because of his fearlessness in axing all the people at Twitter and having it run so much better as X today. And that's what I want him to do for our government. And meanwhile, talking about Vivek Ramaswamy, who, by the way, if you haven't watched the show before, he's one of my favorite people just in politics today. I really like Vivek Ramaswamy. When he came onto the political sphere in the political world a little while ago, I wasn't sure what I thought about him. I'm all in on him now. He for sure is going to run for governor. I just have to put that out here. And here is the thing that you have to think about with Vivek Ramaswamy. Who is going to oppose him? Because really, he's got the name recognition, like all the name recognition in the world, because he was a presidential candidate and got to like the final four in the Republican Party and then was hugely supportive of Donald Trump, but then supported by Donald Trump. So he's going to have Donald Trump's endorsement. He's also going to have JD Vance's endorsement. And of course, we all know JD Vance is from Ohio. So it's a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't he run? It's a no-brainer for him. If he runs, he will win, and I do believe that he will run. I also think it makes sense for him to run. Some people have talked about, like they talked about him replacing J.D. Vance as a senator there. They've talked about him in a couple other positions, but you have to think for a second. Vivek Ramaswamy doesn't want to be a senator. He doesn't want to be a congressman. I think he was passionate about Doge, but he doesn't even want to be part of Doge that much. And the reason why is because he runs companies. This guy is an executive. He likes those things. And so when you're in an executive position your whole life, you kind of have to stay that way. And the Senate is not an executive position. Doge was somewhat of an executive position. Perhaps, frankly, him and Elon are such dominant people, such dominant executives, that Vivek felt that they didn't really need both of them in any case. And so when you look at the executive branch and what that would mean for Vivek Ramaswamy, it makes all the sense in the world that if you look at what he would do in politics, he's either got to be president, vice president, or a governor, because the governor, of course, is the head executive of a state. So I think he's going to serve Ohio very well. Likely he's going to come back to the national scale of politics later on, because as it stands right now, he's still very, very young. Guys, this tax season, I am partnered with Quick Tax America, which does all federal returns for only $69. And they hate the IRS as much as you do. That's why they give you your best return. What's more, they do all the work for you. You simply upload your documents, you answer a few questions, and then you schedule a 15-minute finish your return call with a tax professional, and they do the rest. Instead of partnering with woke companies that make you spend hours and hours to do your own taxes, partner with a great patriotic company like Quick Tax America, which will do all the work for you for, again, only $69, no matter how complicated your taxes are. Go check them out at quicktaxamerica.com when you get all those tax documents together, or you can go to the link in the description below. So Marco Rubio is Trump's official first cabinet member. He was unanimously confirmed by the Senate. And when he gave his acceptance speech, he said some pretty generic things, but then he also said something that was somewhat controversial, which was that he spoke in Spanish in his first ever speech as Secretary of State. Watch this.
If I may take the liberty for just 15 seconds to say something in Spanish, because I know a lot of people back home would be very proud, and I want to make sure I acknowledge that. Quiero darle las gracias a Dios, a mi familia que no está aquí con nosotros hoy, a mis padres que vinieron en este país en el año 1956. Y el propósito de su vida fue que nosotros pudiéramos vivir los sueños que no fueron posibles para ellos. Es un honor increíble ser el secretario de Estado del país más poderoso y más bueno en la historia de toda la humanidad. Y es un gran honor y le doy las gracias al presidente Trump por esta oportunidad. I just said I saved a bunch of money by switching to Geico. That's what I said. So. And I want to end by thanking Almighty God and my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That is truly the singular purpose of our lives. It's the most important priority. It's the only thing that will matter when we take our last breath on this earth. But this is an extraordinary opportunity that would not have been possible without God's blessings. I'm honored and I'm privileged, cognizant of responsibility, and I want to thank President Trump for his confidence. We will work hard every second of the day to help him achieve the agenda the American people have given him to achieve. Thank you.
So I'm going to say something that might be kind of controversial to some people on the right. It might make you angry. I don't really care. But I think that Marco Rubio is the reason why Trump won. And when I say that, I'm not just saying Marco Rubio, but what I mean is what he represents, the things that he's doing in that speech, for instance. What he is doing is he is growing the coalition of the Republican Party. And I think it is good that Marco Rubio spoke Spanish in his first ever speech as Secretary of State. That doesn't mean that I don't believe that immigrants should learn English when they come to America. Of course they should. And they should make English their first language. I know that's not easy to do, but they should treat English as if it is their first language. They should speak as much as possible. That's all true. I believe that. But at the same time, the more we have a broad coalition, the more we win elections every single time. And this is part of the problem with the Republican Party in the early 21st century, is that they were so exclusive for no reason, and it turned very corrupt. It's basically exactly what we're seeing with the Democrat Party right now, where they're exclusive and they hate everyone that believes even something slightly different than them. And as a result, they lose elections because, as it turns out, when you turn people away from your political party, they don't like you very much and they don't vote for you, because when you tell someone that you hate them, they don't usually like you. Unfortunately, there's still people who vote for Democrats. I don't understand it. But with that said, Republicans are fixing a lot of the mistakes that they made a few years ago, and Democrats are making those mistakes still. And so the reality is, speaking with Hispanics specifically who are speaking Spanish, Hispanics have zero business voting for Democrats. Hispanics are as conservative as they come, but somehow Democrats have convinced them to vote for them over the last few years, basically up until this election when tons of minorities showed up for Trump in a way that was never happened before. I mean, you saw massive numbers increasing for Trump. You even saw like Native Americans who overwhelmingly voted for Trump. It's not even like Trump did better than before with them. It's like he won the majority of Native Americans, which is just crazy. And Hispanics were very close to majority voting for Trump. And so I think it is moments like this, like what Marco Rubio did in this speech, that does it. We should have full speeches, I believe, of the Republican candidates each election dubbed in Spanish to get those people's votes. Because at the end of the day, we have to win elections. I don't really care how we do it. I just want to win. Because you don't get to actually make changes and do conservative things if you don't win elections. And why would you not want to show this level of tolerance and acceptance that Marco Rubio is showing in order to get their vote? And so again, I'm not saying this just because I just want to steal their vote and I'm just being a nasty person. That's not what I mean. I'm saying that Hispanics are conservative and they agree with Republicans on 90% of things. So why would Republicans not take advantage of that? They haven't done it. And they started doing it, I would say, in 2024. And it paid off massively because Republicans, of course, took the Senate overwhelmingly. They were able to hold on to the House. And then, of course, Trump had a massive victory. And so I know all of this. I know Hispanics are very conservative. I've lived in Mexico multiple times. I've lived in U.S. cities where 90% of the people had Spanish as their first language. Spanish is my second language. These people are very conservative if we reach out to them. And the Hispanic vote could become, I believe, Republicans' probably deepest voting bloc if we reach out to them like Marco Rubio has done since, of course, he's Cuban. So I thought it was awesome, him doing this. He did, in fact, not say that he was switching to Geico in that speech. That was very funny. He said pretty much the most conservative things that you could possibly have, which are, he said, thank you to my family, thank you to my God, and thank you to the United States for being the greatest nation on earth. And my opinion is that if this is the message you are sharing and you are getting people to vote Republican with that message, I don't care what language you say it in. Well, guys, I wanted to share a deal that I'm running right now. Right now, my book, A New Cult, it's up on the bookshelf right there, is only $9.99 on Amazon. The link is in the description below. If you have a Kindle subscription, it's actually free to you. Go check it out. I had a great time writing it. I talk about a lot of the things that I talked about on the show today, so go check it out today. Again, the link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you haven't already, go down below, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and watch another video.